What's going on, everyone? So the Lakers didn't materially get better. Everyone is acting like they had the greatest offseason of all time. Tim Bontemps had this to say on ESPN. They were having a conversation, and you saw it. And a lot of people were outraged. A lot of Laker haters were like, "Yeah, see, the people are just over dramatizing the Lakers and over exaggerating their offseason and blah 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 blah." Right? Here's the thing. One, the Lakers absolutely got better. Two, the Lakers were in the Western Conference against the Denver Nuggets and upgraded in several areas and improved. Anytime that happens, that's a good offseason, right? It's not like they were a team that actually finished the 13th seed, right? Because this team was the best team in the West after the trade. They were on pace. If they had a full season together, they were on pace to have 57 wins this past season, right? With the new team. So if they brought everybody back and added the players that they added and they were the 13th seed, then yeah, I would be like, all right, but they weren't. They were really good, and they were really good without even playing 10 games together going into the regular season. Because remember, LeBron James missed a bunch of games. Anthony Davis missed some games. D'Lo missed a bunch of games. So you had a team that was really good on the fly, that was basically thrown together with duct tape, gum, and rubber bands. And they were able to make it work with an unhealthy LeBron James, unhealthy Anthony Davis, and an unhealthy D'Angelo Russell. What does that look like with them healthy? Right? Or even with D'Lo struggles in that series, what does that look like with LeBron James and Anthony Davis? And if they beat Denver, they win the championship. They would have beaten Miami. So the Lakers are right there, and they upgraded and added in, again, several areas. But got to keep in mind, it's the Los Angeles Lakers. Two things happened. And I've talked about this before. I've even said it's one of the reasons why I actually wanted to make a Laker channel. Outside of me being just, I bleed purple and gold and I'm a diehard Laker fan, but I said it, right? I knew a Laker channel would be successful because there's two camps, right? There's the camp that absolutely hates the Lakers, and guess what? They're all going to watch, and they're all going to talk their talk, and they're all going to troll, and they're all going to do what they do. But guess what it does? It gets me views, it gets me ratings, it gets me the things that I need, that YouTube looks at and goes, okay, this is success, right? People like this. And the other side of that is people like myself that are fans of the Lakers, that want to have a genuine conversation, that are genuinely excited, that are genuinely pumped, and want to talk. It's a win-win for somebody like me. And it's the same thing with these networks, right? YouTubers are not far off from the networks. It's about the analytics, the click-through rates, the view duration, how long you watch a video, your engagement. Do you comment? Do you like? Do you subscribe? All of those things, right? Those are very important for metrics for YouTube. And that stuff is important for ESPN and stuff. So you have everybody with this same sentiment of oh no, the Lakers upgraded and are now really good. You got to have somebody that comes in and tries to, put their finger in the sugar bowl and just kind of try to it's nonsense, right? Look, I'm not saying the Lakers went and built this crazy super team and it's no way, can't believe that. The Lakers got Giannis and Embiid and Dame in the same offseason, added to LeBron and AD. Oh my, it wasn't anything like that. It wasn't this crazy, nobody, they try to make it sound like everyone's just super delusional, they believe Gabe Vincent is going to be the second coming of prime Isaiah Thomas, and nobody thinks that stuff. People understand that they're role guys, but that's what the Lakers need. They needed the depth. They needed other guys that could contribute by committee. If the Lakers had Gabe Vincent and Taurean Prince and, maybe Cam Reddish and Jackson Hayes and whoever else the Lakers get, maybe they win that Denver series. And some people might be looking at it as oh, no way, you got swept, blah, blah. The entire series was decided by 6 games, or by 24 points, and an average of 6 points per game was the average, right? When you divide that out. So The Lakers losing by 24 points entirely. If you have Taurean Prince that can give you, double digits on any given night, Gabe Vincent, we saw how good he was in the playoffs, right? And how well, he stepped up his game. If he can give you another 10 even a game, there's 20 of the 24 over total. And that's just that's not counting per game. Like there's enough to beat right there. And then whatever Jackson Hayes provides, whatever Cam Reddish provides, even if they don't provide anything, like the Lakers just needed one other guy to step up, and it probably would have been a completely different series. Even if they don't win the series, it would have been a lot hard fought than what it was. So again, like these were impactful moves. The Lakers went from having a bunch of small guys and some size to their smallest guy is Gabe Vincent at 6'3". Literally, everyone is 6'5" and above on this roster. Even the rookies that they got. Like Shafino's 6'6". Lewis is 6'7". Right? Like, the Lakers went and filled needs. They got guys that can shoot the three ball. They got guys that can defend and are hard nose. They got guys that can do multiple things that aren't afraid of the moment. Like Gabe Vincent was not afraid of the moment. Taurean Prince was not afraid of the moment. Both of those guys hit some big shots. I mean, Taurean Prince hit some big shots against the Lakers. So you have two guys that aren't afraid of the moment, that can come in. If D'Lo doesn't have it that night, and he's, the struggles that he had, we tried to play Dennis Schroeder, and Dennis Schroeder was just as bad, if not worse at times, right? And he was too undersized, and he ended up having to get played off the court, where that doesn't happen with Gabe Vincent, right? Like, we saw what he was able to do. That could very well have been a difference. Taurean Prince, right? Jared Vanderbilt ended up getting played off the floor because he couldn't provide any offense for us, right? But we needed his defense. Well, guess what? Taurean Prince can provide the defense and 38% from three and can give you some offense. That's a difference maker, right? Like Cam Reddish, because now he has some stability and he has a home and he has some upside. And this is a guy that averages 10 points per game for himself, right? Does he have an impact on? You start stacking the pieces. Having another big in Jackson Hayes gives you another guy to just throw at Jokic. Like all of these things, like they're marginal moves, but several marginal moves can be the equivalent of one massive move, right? Like, to put it in perspective, the Lakers basically just added minimum 40 points, 40 rebounds, and 20 assists or whatever, and provides defense. And what did they lose? Mo Bamba, who was injured the entire time, so he basically gave you nothing. Malik Beasley, who basically gave you 6 points per game. So there's two guys that gave you 6 points total. And then you lost Dennis Schroeder, who he was giving you, 12 on average, but outside of like that Minnesota series, he was rough at times. So you basically doubled your production, basically, if not more. Like, that's the equivalent of a big move, right? That would have been the equivalent of adding, a star or something like that. Now, granted, stars have a bigger impact. They provide, like if you got a Kyrie, right, and you were able to keep your depth, Kyrie would give you not only the scoring output and a lot of the same things that, several guys would give you, but he'd also give you a closer down the stretch, right? Like, that's a concern. You look at the bench unit and then you look at the starters and it's like, well, who's the guy that closes out games? Because that was a big problem with Denver. Lakers were in all of those games and had real opportunities to win those games. They just couldn't close down the stretch. And LeBron, at now 39 years old, yes, I do believe if he was healthy, could have at least closed out half of those games for us, and it maybe would have been a different series. But you really want to rely on a 39-year-old LeBron James to be closing down the stretch. Maybe a full year of the new and improved Austin Reeves, maybe that makes a difference, right? Maybe that's what it is. Maybe the Lakers end up making a move at the trade deadline, or maybe D'Angelo Russell ends up being that guy now that he has a home and he's comfortable and he has a full year under his belt, right? Like, you never know, right? Like, somebody could evolve into that. Maybe Max Christie takes that step and he's just ice in his veins or something, You never know. Figure it out. But the Lakers put together a real roster. They're big, they're versatile, they all defend. They're still gonna be the arguably, if not the best defense in the league. Bare minimum, they'll be top 3 to top 5 defense in the league. And they're probably gonna be top 5 offense in the league. So last year, to put this in perspective, last year, the Boston Celtics were the only team in the league that were top 5 in both offense and defense. The Lakers have the potential to be that other team, like legitimately. They were the number 1 defense without all this extra size and versatility, right? So you'd imagine that it's going to be the same. So they should be very good defensively, and they were top 7 in offense. And they added more versatility and guys that can score, and you're going to have not just that, you're going to have the chemistry and guys not on the fly trying to figure it out. Like, you'll have more structure and understanding. So it's not unlikely that the Lakers are top 5 in offense, top 5 in defense. It's actually very likely to happen. Right? How many times do we see, LeBron or D'Lo or somebody just turn the ball, or Reeves, turn the ball over, not because of a mistake that they made, but just not having that understanding of the player that you're trying to get the ball to? Because that comes with chemistry, that comes with an understanding, that comes with repetitions, right? Yeah, I know the guy likes it here. I thought you were going to be here, but you were over there, right? Like, you start developing those habits and you start seeing people's habits. You start seeing like, oh, he likes the ball here, not there, right? His shooting pocket is here, not here, right? All of those things matter in the course of a game, because if my shooting pocket is, to my left, not my right, and you throw it to my right, well, now I got to bring it over and rise up. Like, that could be the difference between me making and missing a shot, or, if I like it center chest or whatever, right? Like, it just, guys have their little nuances. And so if the Lakers can build that chemistry, everyone has an understanding, everyone has a role. The Lakers might be the deepest team in the league. Like, I think that they are. But regardless, even if they're not, they're one of the deepest teams in the league, and that has value. That's why this is important. All the nonsense of like the Lakers didn't have a good offseason, like, they had a great offseason. Did other teams get more talented guys? Sure. But that's not what it's always about. It's about, what did you get? What is the fit? Right? Like, the Suns got Bradley Beal. Okay, Bradley Beal's better than all the guys the Lakers signed. Right? He's better than Austin Reeves, better than Rui Hachimura, he's better than D'Lo, he's better than Gabe Vincent, he's better than, like, that's great. Okay, cool. But how does that work? How does that fit? How much is he making? Right? All of those things matter. The Lakers, the only person you can argue that the Lakers overpaid for is Rui Hachimura. And Rui Hachimura, I think, was at least $15 million. He got $17 million. So, like, why split hairs, right? Pay him the money. Don't lose him, because he's going to be very valuable and important. Right? The Lakers won the offseason, at least so far. There's still a lot that could happen. But, again, there's a lot of factors that go into it outside of just, like, the billboard names. And the Lakers did a great job. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, so I pass the question on to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. Agree with me, disagree with me, somewhere in between. However you feel, whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear it. Let me know down in the comments.